So right here, number one is just too easy. All you have to do is read it. And as you read it, go ahead and write. So we read this first part, 3/4. That's the fraction, 3/4, 3/4. 3/4 of what? 3/4 the square of b. So there it is, b squared, the square of b. Again, 3/4 is just a fraction. And the square of b, that's simply saying b squared. Remember, the word square, if we zoom in to the word square, that really just means the little exponent of 2. Okay? So when you read the word square, you're going to be putting the exponent of 2. And what are you going to be putting it on? You're going to be putting it on b. So the square of b is really saying b squared. I hope that makes sense. That was on our previous quiz. It's going to be on our next quiz. So please make sure you understand that. Number 2, 71 more than the square of a number. So what does more than mean? More than. Yeah, it's addition and there's a switch in the order, right? If I say what's 1 more than your age, you're not going to say 1 plus your age. You're going to say your age plus 1. You're going to say 14 plus 1. So right here, 71 more than. You're not going to write this 71 at the beginning. You're going to write it over here at the end, okay? Now, what belongs in the front? This belongs in the front, the square of a number. What does the word square mean? The little exponent of 2 right there. Okay. Now, where are we going to put that little exponent of 2? On a number. Now, we don't say which number it is. So what are we going to use? X. So we're going to say x squared. There you go. X squared plus 71 is the correct algebraic expression for that verbal phrase. Once again, you will see this. You saw this on the last quiz. You're going to see it on the next quiz or the next test. That's why it's on this opener. Again, let's start with 15 decreased by. What does decreased by mean? Subtraction. Do we switch the order on this? No. If you say, like, let's just throw in your age. If I say, what's your age decreased by 2? You're not going to say 2 take away 14. You're going to say 14 take away 2, right? You don't switch the order. So the 15 just comes out in the front. And you're going to decrease it by what? By twice a number. Now, what does twice a number mean? It's not the power of 2, but it's 2 times, right? Twice a number is multiplying by 2. So twice a number, you'd put 2x right there. And that's it. That's a correct algebraic expression for that verbal phrase on number 3. Number 4, 3 more than the product of 7 and m squared. That's a mouthful right there. Let's start with the words more than. What does that mean and what does it imply? Are we multiplying? You're adding, right? More than is adding. If I say what's 3 more than your age?
3 plus 14.
Is it 3 plus 14 or is it 14 plus 3? 14 plus 3, right? If I say what's 1 more than your age, you're gonna say 14 plus 1. You're automatically going to switch the order because the words more than imply a switch. So this 3 that's in the front, it's not going to be right here in the front. We're going to take this 3 and put it back here. So let's put that 3 at the end of the plus. Now what belongs in the front? In the front we have this giant phrase, the product of 7 and m squared, and that belongs over here in the front. Maybe I shouldn't have drawn that arrow through these words. But anyways, we're going to put it out there in the front. Now, what does the product mean? Product. Multiply. Okay, so if you want, you can put a little multiplication dot. And what are we multiplying? We are multiplying 7 and m squared. That's what we're multiplying. So we're going to put a 7 times m squared. So there it is. 7 m squared plus 3 is the final answer on that one. By the way, the next assessment is going to be multiple choice. So it's not like you have to come up with these things all on your own. You're going to be able to read 4 different options. And as long as you understand the words, you'll be able to identify which one's the correct one. And I messed up right here. I'm sorry. As you can see, we have questions 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we have 3 and 4 again. So that should have been 5 and 6. My bad. But let's go through these anyway. Now, the best way to evaluate, which means plug it in, is to replace your letters with numbers. So I start with 2c cubed. I want to put 2, and instead of c, I want to write 4. So I want to put times 4, and then cubed. That's the power of 3. And then we have the minus, this minus ab, which is really minus a times b. So let me put the minus. And now my A value is 12, so I'm going to put 12 right there. And then times B, and the B value is 9, so I'm going to put the 9 right there. So this is all on top. And what I like to do sometimes when I'm simplifying fractions, I like to label, okay, top. This is the work I want to do for the top, for the numerator. And I'm going to ignore the divided by 4 completely for a little while, and then I'll slap on that divided by 4 at the very end. So looking at this top part that I'm simplifying, what do I do first? Multiply, exponents, subtraction, or multiply? Exponents, that's right. So when I do 4 cubed, that really means 4 times 4 times 4, and that is 64. 4 times 4 is 16, and 16 times 4, in case you don't know, 16 times 4 is 64, and you need to be able to do that on the next assessment that we take. So we do have 64 right here instead of the 4 cubed. Now let me bring down everything else. There's a 2 out here in the front. There's a minus. There's a 12. And there's a 9. I'm going to put the multiplication symbol between the 2 and the 64. That way I don't make the mistake of thinking that it's 264, but it's actually 2 times 64. And the 12 and the 9 also, I'm going to put a multiplication symbol right between them to remind myself that I'm multiplying. So what is 2 times 64? 128. Okay. And what is 12 times 9? 108. And we do have a minus sign between them. So we've been going through PEMDAS each time. At the very end, we're subtracting 128, take away 108. What do we get?
20.
We get 20.
Over 4.
Over 4, that's right. Now, I actually made a mistake on this specific problem on our homework. Okay? If you didn't see it, I mean, people make mistakes. I make mistakes. So the 20 is what is on top, and we still need the over 4. So I'm going to put that over 4 right there, divided by 4. So my final answer, 20 divided by 4, is 5. Believe it or not, on the answers, on the solutions that I posted on Edmodo, I put that the answer was 4. Yeah, I made a mistake. 20 divided by 4 is 5, not 4. I made a mistake on the answers that I posted. Anyway, let's do this next one. Let's plug in our values. We have 2 parenthesis 12 minus 9, close parentheses, squared, minus 5 times C. So if you leave a 4 right there, you either use parentheses to remember that you're multiplying or put the multiplication symbol, or both. But you need to put something there to remind you that you're multiplying, because you might make the mistake of thinking that's a number 54. Anyhow, we start with PEMDAS with P, parentheses. We zoom in. 12 take away 9. What's 12 take away 9? 3. So we put a 3 right there. And there's nothing else to do in the parentheses, so I might as well zoom out a bit and rewrite everything. So now that I've done parentheses, I have exponents. 3 squared is 6, right? Wrong. It's not 6, it's 9. 9. So we have 2 times 9 minus 5 times 4. So now we have multiplication and subtraction. Of course, we're going to multiply before subtracting. 2 times 9, 18. 5 times 4, 20. Bring down the minus sign. 18 take away 20. You have $18. You owe $20. You can't even pay them off. You're still going to owe them $2. And that is it. Guys, consider this class opener a good review for a large part of the next assessment that we have this Friday. Okay? These same exact type of questions, if not exact, will be on the test Friday, on the next assessment we have on Friday.